to a barn with no animals. A whooping from a man who I didn't even recognize as my father.
Because I'm fiending for that mocha brown. That first time I had chocolate cake brown.
According to the white man, I have a bad plan.
Is that this would be the last time, but moments later, shade she'll use from his bruises.
I don't want to dream. Her friends are mad cause they can't skip school, and she mad she can't go. She's only 15 years old, but she can make a grown man break bread.
Slam to me is just, competitive raw talent. It is poetry where you put yourself on a stage.
It's poetry on steroids. So look at it like that, it's poetry coming to life.
Slam is a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it can be a really negative experience. It's a bunch of people who aren't good at rapping or aren't good at writing more classical type poetry, get on stage and whine about their life.
I don't want to take you down with me. I know I seem harmless at first. My acid green isotopes shine like emerald-studded Jesus pieces, and I can radiate away the cancerous memories of your most recent ex, and most importantly, I create electricity.
Slam poetry to me is dynamic performance poetry with a competitive twist to it. Slam is a game that they play, the poets play, where you're only on stage for 3 minutes with a 10-second grace period. You have 5 judges, Olympic style scoring, drop the high, drop the low, and then you add up the 3 middle scores. It's the scoring rubric from 0 to 10 with decimal points to break ties, and you try to capture the audience in the amount of time that you're given. My name is TJ Medell. I'm originally from Jersey City, New Jersey. I've been performing poetry for the last decade. I've been an educator, an actor, currently a dancer, and I've been trying to integrate poetry into everything that I do. I started doing slam poetry when my best friend took me to my first slam out in Brookdale Community College in New Jersey, and the first slam that I ever saw was with HBO deaf poet by the name of Uncle Shappy.
What can I say? I spent all of my rent money buying action figures on eBay. But I did not come here to chit-chat, I came here to role play.
After I had seen that Uncle Shappy showed me what geek poetry could be, I went home that night and I wrote 1 or 2 pieces. After that, I would start going with my best friend, with Ashley, to all these slams that were in the surrounding areas. And eventually, through time, I was fortunate enough to be picked up by some of my mentors now, and they taught me everything I know about poetry.
Plug in the controller, press the white button, 1 player 2. Get in the driver's seat, pick up a gun, step on the pink arrow or the blue. Choose your character, select your weapon, pick your car. I need that high score to set the bar. Blackout. Medium, hard, expert, novice, easy, heroic. I drive, you shoot, manual or automatic. I'll be a brainwash, become a stoic. Blackout. Mortal Kombat. 1, 2, 3. On your mark, get set, go. Ready, begin, fight, commence, shit. I just froze.
I started doing slam poetry. I got a text message from a high school friend a year after high school. She knew I did poetry back in high school, so she told me to come out. And I came out, and they talked about this competition thing with poetry, so I just wanted to read. So I got involved and I did it, and I've been doing it ever since. Chris James, the artist, is a young boy from the ghetto turned poet. I'm that guy who likes to. I'm the poet who likes to keep it real, as you like to say. I'm not just the most metaphoric, simile, poetic devices type poet. I like to tell you exactly where I come from, what I've seen in my childhood, in my environment growing up, how I feel, all these things.
Tell him what you want. So on bended knees, I pray to God because I know we just the lifeline. Divine affinity, souls of serenity, to praise dances and worship lines, to Christian folks holding picket signs, rallying in front of courthouses saying that Jesus is justice, Jesus is justice. Unified people that believe in something. They believe in a higher being and hope that they'll die one day and get the opportunity to see him. Random thoughts of black children who are too far gone to decipher which direction is home.
More tips, but everything that makes sense, it doesn't have to rhyme. And I know it seems like a line because it appears not every line ends in a rhyme, but I think it's time.
I'm ashamed to say that one time I allowed myself to believe a lie. I allowed myself to believe that a woman's true beauty only resided in the fullness of her breasts and the thickness of her thighs.
It's very divided here. It's very divided, and I don't think it should be like that.
Central Arkansas poetry is really divided. It's actually kind of scary because it's so hard to get anything done because there are so many different factions of people who everybody's trying to do something different. And while it's probably beneficial for the various camps, from an audience standpoint, I get the feeling that like people feel as if they have to choose either this side or this side. Do I want to go to this guy's show this week or that guy's show next week? And I feel like the audience isn't necessarily ready to make that decision just yet.
If there was some unity, then it could grow into something bigger.
They serve mental food, then catching a cold train to the corner where D flat meets the avenue in a sentimental mood.
Poetry is nudity. Through words, I strip the truth down to its birthday suit. Plain naked. Through rhyme is how I get wasted. Poetry is simply how you taste it.
Poetry is words spoken, searching souls for consciousness stolen, rhythmic remedy to revitalizing a lost child's purpose.
Poetry is being shackled to a feeling and emotion with an unwillingness to be solid.
Poetry is poetic politicians.
Foreign Tongues is a poetry group on steroids. And I say that because Foreign Tongues is a spoken word organization with some of the best poets in Little Rock and Arkansas.
It's comprised of 5, 6, 7 individuals now. It's been a while since I performed with them, but I do know that the founding members were myself, Marquise McFerguson, that's his stage name is Apollo, Laron McAdoo or Ron Mac, Osiris Bali or Osiris, and Christopher James, who is known as a Scorpio poet. We all came together as a group, and we decided that if there was going to be much more of an appreciation for poetry, then we needed to make sure that it wasn't stretched out, and we needed to come together as a group and try to create group pieces to show Arkansas something that it's never seen before.
As much as I would like to see it get better, I just don't think it's gonna get better. I feel like it's gonna be the same just because of people not wanting to change.
I think really we just need to come together and talk. We need to have a discussion. And it needs to be a discussion where everybody is present.
The Arkansas poetry scene will be growing in the next couple of years. And not just say it will be growing, it'll continue to grow because it's already growing. So it's definitely going to be, in the next couple of years, it's going to be pretty established, to where it needs to be. It's going to be a poetry-owned venue. It's going to be, this coinciding with Neo Soul. It's going to be something that people want to go to. It's going to be something that people want to come out of town just to come to. It's going to be something so great, something so beautiful.
Don't get wrapped up in whatever goes on outside of the writing process.
Don't forget who you are. Be humble. You're a person before a performing poet.
Everyone who loves poetry, who loves this art, they just have to come out and they have to support one another.
that makes me want to rap fast like Twister. Cause you'll be making me sing sweet R&B like R. Kelly. My mind is telling me no, but this poem is telling me yes.
The man that everyone lines up against the wall, waving the nose of a silencer in the face of anyone with a glimmer of courage in their eyes. Bang! He kills the ship's captain just to show the rest of them that he's serious.
Hey, hello. Hey, is this seat taken? How you doing, baby? Are words that fit conveniently in a box titled manners a simple responsibility of humans? You see, we have to learn this because instinctively we are giving nothing but birth dates. On May 29th, 1917, a rose birthed the Kennedy.
See, in a typical Asian family, you were taught not to look into a woman, but to look at the color that you would see. Realize that the only advice my grandmother gave me was to not mix colors like laundry, to keep it in my race, to ignore my primal instincts, but unlike her, I'm hard as a rock. And I want my first African sister to claim me as if I was Plymouth. So bring some friends you cool with. And I'm gonna bring the Cool Whip, and you can whip my naive mind into the sensible brother of a lighter color. So, if there are any ladies in the house, they want to teach me to be enslaved in the waves of rhythm and respect that can break my body of its past judgments and ignorant assumptions and put me back together piece by piece with each one blessed with the sensitivity of your lips, then my number is 501-249-9533. Get at me because this boy is ready to become your man.